Okay, now we're getting to the fun part. We're getting to my friends in the industry. James from Black Sheep is here, and I've always admired his bikes, and every year he brings showstoppers. So James, tell us what you brought for us today.
So this bike is called the ZAMer. It's a 36-inch wheeled bike built out of titanium. It's got a truss fork. We basically engineered this thing to have the same trail that you would see on a regular 26 or 29-inch bike. This was built kind of to proof out handling as wheels get bigger and smaller. And so on this bike, it's got 105 mils of offset on the fork, but the same trail as a conventional 29er or 26er. So from a handling standpoint, it feels stable. You know, the approach angle with a big tire means rolling over rocks and up and down stair sets is like nothing.
What stairs?
Yeah, exactly. But you know, an 1,800 gram tire, the thing you're working against once you start going is inertia. So it's almost like it's got a steering damper. So it, you know, it looks like a carnival bike. You feel like you're in a parade just riding it down the street, but it's actually pretty capable on trail.
Really?
Yeah, it really is.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so we've got a 32 up here, a 25 in back, which translates to 52 gear inches. So your standard 2-to-1 on a 26-inch bike. So you've got a ratio that'll work fairly well on moderate trail and get you around town okay too.
So this bike has been ridden on already?
Considerably. Yeah.
Wow, considerably.
Yeah, absolutely. We tore it down, rebrushed it, and redid the media blast for the show. So we wanted to prove some things out before we brought it here.
Yeah, I would. I normally ask what are the challenges in building a new bike, but I think you've addressed them. What were some of the revelations, as well as challenges that?
A couple of the revelations were. You know, trail does mean something from a handling standpoint. By playing around with offset and head angle, we were able to not have any toe overlap, to have a bike that was stable at low speeds and predictable and stable at high speeds. And so it really kind of validated a lot of the trends in the industry towards more offset on 29er forks.
Right.
And so that was neat. The other thing, we've been doing the telescoping chainstay now for a while. And again, we wondered, larger diameter wheels, more mass, how is loading this system going to affect symmetry on the bike? And it's been quiet. No creaks, no slippage, lightweight. And it's adaptable. We've got a belt system from Gates that we can do on this. You can see it's been clearanced here to allow the pulley to run. So it's got adaptability. Removable hanger so it can run gears.
Right.
You know, and really kind of playing around with curves, not only from an aesthetic standpoint, but a necessity. Without a curved seat tube, you'd have to have almost a 23-inch chainstay to actually get the back end on this bike. So while it's only got a 48-inch wheelbase, you add another 3 feet to that. It's almost 7 feet outside to outside.
Outside to outside.
Yeah, yeah.
So is this something you'll sell, or is it more a proof of concept?
You know, we've sold a handful of them.
Really?
Yeah, I sold one yesterday. We're delivering one in North Carolina in the next few weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, so I mean, it's more people come up to us and say, I saw the 36er, I've heard of your 36er, and so it's given us some sort of kind of brand recognition.
Right.
So as a marketing tool, it's been exquisite because it really catches people's eyes. But there are a handful of people who are so smitten by it, they'll actually go through the process of doing the fit and building the bike.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, another interesting bike. You know, this is why people come to Handmade Show, is to see James at his best working on new concepts like this. And let me just say that pictures and video doesn't do it justice. It's something else to see it. But tell us about the bike.
Okay, so this started as kind of our standard Stellar single-speed frame. It's a standard model for us. How we adapted it for this specific user who's doing the Tour Divide was by integrating a rack on the front. This added 2 ounces. This is where his bedroll will go. It's not going to change the handling of the bike. And then we've got a large rack on the back. We've got a pannier mount that's lowered, so you've still got access to the top of the rack. So there's real functionality here. It's got, again, our HAX tensioning system, so it can be set up belt or it can be set up single speed. We've used windowed dropouts to save weight. And then further, we've added splitters on both sides, so the back end's removable. It fits in an S&S case for travel. It's checkable luggage. Another option in this case is our Mountain Mustache bar as a one-piece with an extra hand position. So you've got 5 or 6 hand positions. You've got a GPS and computer mount. You've got an extra place for food and 2 more hand positions for really stretching out on the bike.
Right.
Weld-on cages were another feature we did just to save a little weight and add a unique style.
Wow.
And then we've got kind of a contrasting finish between a media etch and a brush. So it's a subtle finish that you don't see from 30 feet. You know, but it's a bike that holds interest from 30 feet to 30 inches. As you move in, you're going to see different things that you appreciate aesthetically, and as you kind of address the bike, you're going to see things that you appreciate functionally as well. The handlebar might be something you don't notice until you're standing over it and you realize, wow, I mean, here's the hand position I'll ride in. This is out of the saddle. This is an aero position where I can feel comfortable. Yeah, so it's about having style and function, which is what we really shoot for.
So tell us about the rider and the function. The Tour Divide, the rider, as I understand, is a high-level rider, and the Tour Divide is a 2,000-mile race.
2,700-mile race. You know, he's going to do it single speed. He's actually going to do it with a carbon drive system. We're waiting on the right pulley to get it built up, but he is going to shoot for, I think, about 3 weeks. And like I say, bedroll on the front, gear on the back, just trying to keep it light and simple. You know, what we're aiming for is lightweight but durable. You know, all the function in the world is great, but if it comes at a weight penalty, you're not going to make it. And you go too light, and again, you're not going to make it.
Right. And then have you done these welded water bottles before?
We have, actually.
It's
this is the second year that we've done it. Yeah, King Cage was kind enough to give us these unwelded.
Cages.
So we actually purged the cage up, weld it, and then weld it onto the frame. In the past, they've been connected on the outside, but we've gone ahead and added welds to the inside. So when the cages are on, or when the bottles are on, rather, you won't see how the cages are attached at all. You know, this thing won't ever have a front derailleur, and so having a cage welded here means you're not really doing anything.
That's one of the constraints of front there. And then I noticed this little touch as well. That's it's like a big dropout, but it's milled out.
Right, exactly. So what you've got is you've got a 42-gram dropout, whereas the conventional dropout in that shape is about 60 grams. It has a smaller hood where we've got a larger, thicker wall hood to tie in both the chainstay and the seat stay. The seat stay also has a flex plate back here to give you a little more vibration damping and almost kind of travel in the seat. The curved seat tube, again, allows for a little more vertical compliance. So again, on a long ride, you're going to have washboards and dirt, and you'll be able to sit through that stuff instead of having to stand. So we've tried to engineer a little bit more vibration damping to reduce body fatigue. You know, I think the biggest thing about doing an event like that is just the repetitive day in, day out. You know, and so anything we can do to diminish the amount of fatigue that you have, we're going to try. And the Stellar, I think, is particularly suited to that because the cantilever seat stay going from dropout to down tube is virtually unsupported except for this leaf, which can move vertically, but not laterally.
I see.
Yeah, and again, the shameless plug with our word mark in the back.
No, I see it. Yeah, a lot of people have welded here all over. But there's a new trend of manufacturers that like to allow it to move a little bit. Separate or give it movement from the seat stay. As
long as you're precluding lateral movement and you're letting there be some vertical movement, you've got compliance without a compromise in power transfer.
Wow. Well, we have one lucky racer owner for this bike. You've done a stellar job, James.
Well, thank you so much.